York Jets have decided to move on from quarterback Aaron Rodgers. This comes from Jordan Schultz. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Sources, while further discussions are expected, the overwhelming belief is that the Jets are unlikely to move forward with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback in 2025, sources tell NFL on Fox. With the new regime in place, many anticipate a fresh start, and a resolution is expected sooner rather than later. Then Jay Glazer came out and said Aaron Rodgers flew back to New Jersey last week to meet with the Jets about his future with the team, only to be told that the team was moving on from him. That's crazy. That's crazy. So then somebody also posted Aaron Rodgers stats and said MVP versus kicked off, deserved MVP versus kicked off the Jets. Which one did he deserve? And then they posted his stats. He had 3,897 passing yards, 28 passing TDs, 11 interceptions, and a 63% completion rate. So Aaron Rodgers is done with the Jets. And this come as a shocker to me. I'll say that because I really didn't think that the Jets should have moved on from him. I understood if they did, but I really didn't think it was the best move. Before we move any further, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and also hit that post notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a video. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. So like I said, I don't think they should have moved on from Aaron Rodgers, but I understand why they would want to, because it wasn't his best year. But this team has been for years, has been a quarterback away from contending. And the last year that they had Zach Wilson as the starter, as the true starter, where they went 7-10, they almost made the playoffs that year. And that's when it was like, ooh, if they get an actual QB, this team will be dangerous. This team will be electric. This team will be this, that, and the third. And they went out and got Aaron Rodgers, and he tore his ACL. Then the next year, he didn't play so well until the end of the year. And so if you take all that into account, and he's on the older side and closer to retiring, he got less years and less years ahead of him. It's like you understand. However, I don't think the Jets' failure this year was more so on the players. We talked about this. I've said repeatedly on this channel that I believe the New York Jets were doomed from the start because of the front office, because of the shenanigans that the front office was playing. And also, I blame the players a little bit on Aaron Rodgers not going to mandatory minicamp to go on vacation or whatever he did. And take that all to account and meddling with the team mid-season by firing the coach after your defense is playing really good and you could potentially figure it out and go on a run, and then trade away one of your wide receivers and bring in Davante Adams. And bringing in Davante Adams on paper is good. However, bringing him in the middle of the season and just throwing him on there and say, oh, do whatever, and making Garrett Wilson upset and not figuring out how to have two number one wide receivers on one team and make it work, of course it's going to cause problems. Of course it's not going to work out. This team on paper, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers, defense, Quentin Williams. You have Sauce Gardner and so many other pieces on that defense. This team should be, at the very least, in the divisional round, fighting to be in the AFC Championship game every year, or Super Bowl contenders. So actually, this team on paper is good enough to be a Super Bowl contender. However, they're not living up to it. Why? Because you kept meddling with the team last year. You didn't let the team get the mojo together. It was just a lot of mess. And I felt like one full off season, new coach, defensive minded coach, and that defense will be back. The offense will be fine because they're more than capable of being fine. I thought it would be okay, and I thought they would make a run. But I guess the Jets thought otherwise. And new regime, new coach, it makes sense. New coach, new regime. It makes sense. He wants to do something new. They want to do something new. I understand. I completely understand. But like I said, what are your options moving forward? You're going to draft a quarterback. Is it a quarterback that you like with your pick? I don't see anyone unless you're going to trade up. You're going to get Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson possibly. Are you going to go and reunite with Sam Darnold? I don't think they should do that. But if they do it this time, I think he'll be set up to win and succeed this time because Adam Gase isn't his head coach, and this is a much better roster than whatever he had when he was there because he had no weapons, no nothing. At least he has a decent offensive line, some weapons on offense, and an elite, or at the very least, really good defense. Now, and so what are you going to do at quarterback? And that's my only question for the Jets move forward. Like I said, this roster on paper looks like a Super Bowl contender. They just need to play like it and live up to the expectations. And now that Aaron Rodgers is out at quarterback, what are you going to do moving forward for quarterback? So what's next for Aaron Rodgers? It's a chance he could retire. I could see that. But they have the next teams for him. They have the Steelers as the highest team, followed by Vegas, San Francisco, Minnesota, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, Tennessee, New York, and Cleveland. So I could see Cleveland possibly. New York desperately needs a quarterback, so I could see him with Malik Neighbors. That would be a nice little duo. Tennessee, I don't know what they plan on doing with the number 1 pick. The Rams, no. The Colts, I kind of can see, but no. Minnesota, are they going to move on from Sam Darnold? Are they going to give the reins to J.J. McCarthy? Or are they going to set J.J. McCarthy down for another year and let him sit behind Aaron Rodgers? He'll do something funny and correct the Brett Favre trifecta. But then you have the 49ers, Raiders, and Steelers. Okay, the most likely team on that list, those 3 teams that I just named, are probably the Steelers and the Raiders. The Steelers, to me, honestly, should bring back Justin Fields. I saw reports that they don't want to bring back Wilson and Fields, and that makes sense. I think you should bring back Fields because it's things that Russell Wilson could do that Fields couldn't do, but it's things Fields can do, like scramble and get out of situations. Russell Wilson could no longer do that. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be able to scramble like Justin Fields will be able to scramble. However, Justin Fields is younger and he has proven to you that he can be a good quarterback. He was like 4-2 when he was the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He did great. He did good as a starting quarterback for the Steelers. So I don't think they should, unless they want to go and get Rodgers for 2 years and let Fields sit behind. But I don't know if Fields wants to do that or if Pittsburgh wants to do that when Justin Fields has proven that he's a capable starter in this league. And then you move on from them and you go to the San Francisco 49ers. And no, why would he go to the San Francisco 49ers? I saw someone on Fox Sports, and I forget who it is, propose the craziest trade, said, get rid of Brock Purdy and trade him for Myles Garrett and bring in Aaron Rodgers. Why would I get rid of my franchise quarterback for somebody who's going to play at the minimum 2 years? 2 years. Why would I do that? I'm not doing that. No, I think that is a stupid and will be a horrific mistake for the 49ers to make. So then you got Vegas. They desperately need a quarterback. And if you add a few more pieces, then they possibly a contender team. Well, not possibly a contender team, but they're a good team. This team is not as bad off roster-wise as people think they are. It looks like it, but because of everything that's been going on, they look terrible. But Aiden O'Connell is not a capable starter in this league. We know that. And we know they need a quarterback. And if they go out and get Aaron Rodgers, that'll be a pretty decent quarterback to have. And then you could maybe get a younger quarterback or eventually draft a quarterback. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But it seems like the best 2 situations for him are the Raiders or Pittsburgh. And I could see him more so going to Pittsburgh than the Raiders because, like I said, the Raiders, they need work, but they're not as bad as people think they are. But they won't be playoff ready to me if they go out and get Rodgers. Like, he's not going to solve the playoff issue because they still need other pieces. However, the Steelers, at the very least, are going to make it to the first round of the playoffs and get bounced guaranteed that shit. So you got that going on. But yeah, this whole situation is crazy to me. You let me know what you think down in the comment section down below about this whole Aaron Rodgers trade situation. Alrighty, y'all. Steven Cotter out.